the Jung versus the Freud view of the unconscious. Can you crystallize that in your understanding?
So, as Mark was indicating, in Freud's late model, it's based on the id. For Jung, the unconscious was not repressed. It wasn't something that was derived in one's own lifetime, but was something that was pre-given. It consisted of structural forms and fantasies that are inborn and present in everyone.
What do you mean pre-given?
That aren't acquired through education, aren't acquired in the course of one's lifetime. So they were akin to Kantian categories, categories that make thought possible. So you begin to, the typical forms of experience that you need, you're in a way pre-structured to encounter a world.
And wasn't there an evolutionary aspect to all this for
Yes.
Jung too? That it was so, you can pull that into the story, that there were these evolved, if you will, Kantian categories, so to speak. Yeah.
Which in a way was a bit contradictory because he's drawing from different traditions, in a way trying to combine the different philosophical and biological conceptions of the unconscious into a larger synthesis, which was inherently unstable. But nevertheless, there's in therapeutics, the critical aspect was, it was not purely a negative, but also a source of potential renewal.
Yeah, I think Jung was more optimistic than Freud. Lutheran Jew. I mean, there were reasons for this. No, I'm, yes, it's funny, but it's also, I think, true. There was Freud was deeply pessimistic about human nature, if you will. And I think Jung was more positive, and they also had very different experiences, very different personalities, right? I mean, Jung had a kind of mystical consciousness. He had that inside him, these experiences. And Freud was a hard-headed scientist in many, many ways.
There's also what Freud called the narcissism of small differences.
Yes, there's also that.
If you look at Jung and Freud and then compare them to everybody else, they're pretty much in the same camp. And you can easily overcome many of these differences if you want to. But I don't think they wanted to.
No,
they didn't want to.
They did not want to. Yeah.